Hi folks, my 10-year-old son thinks he knows everything. But there was a time in his life when every statement directed at him would be answered by the question, why? Alex, eat your dinner. Why? Because you'll be hungry if you don't. Why? Because your body needs energy. Why? Because that's the way the body is. Why? Have you ever noticed that if you just keep asking the question why, you'll eventually end up back at the beginning of everything? Why does anything exist? I'm sure you all have seen one of these. This is one of those famous puzzles invented by the professor Erno Rubik called the Rubik's Cube. The solution to the Rubik's Cube, so I'm told, is based on mathematics. If you apply the right mathematical formula, the right algorithm, you can solve the cube. So here goes. My goodness, they're right. Look, a completed cube. Okay, I cheated. I've got two. I can do the Rubik's Cube, but this video would be even longer and even more boring than it's going to be if I was to sit here and do the Rubik's Cube. Mathematics solves the problem of the Rubik's Cube. Indeed, mathematics underpins everything we do in life. Our computers operate on a set of ones and zeros called the binary code. Our clocks and timepieces, our transport, our telephone networks, our energy generators, our electricity, pretty much everything we depend upon in life is governed by mathematics. Indeed, the laws of mathematics guarantee the order that we see in the universe around us. If there is order, there is mathematics. If there's mathematics, there's order. But my question is, where did that order come from? Now imagine you're walking along and passing a table, and on that table you see one of these, a muddled up, chaotic Rubik's Cube. Now imagine you came back past that same table a few minutes later and you saw this, a completed, ordered Rubik's Cube. What would you think? Would you think, oh my goodness, look what happened, that Rubik's Cube has done itself. That has happened by accident. No, you wouldn't think that, would you? You would think, sensibly, that someone intelligent has come along and completed the cube. You might even think that someone less intelligent like me has replaced one of these with one of these. But you certainly wouldn't think that this happened by accident. That would be irrational. Now, imagine I left this mixed up cube on that table for 1,000,000 years. Would this cube in that time complete itself? No, it wouldn't. It would never be able to complete itself because it takes an outside force acting upon this cube for it to do anything. If I left this cube on the table for 1,000,000 years, what would happen? Well, it would decay. The stickers would peel off. The bits inside would corrode. It would fall apart. It would become more disordered and more chaotic, but it wouldn't somehow do itself. I said if we kept asking the question why, we would end up back at the beginning of everything. And there are two laws that I'm thinking about when I'm asking the question why. The first law is the law of first causes, which states that if anything exists, something must have caused it to exist. If the universe exists, something must have caused the universe to exist. Ah, well, you say, we know what that was. That was the Big Bang. Well, as an army chaplain, I've heard many big bangs in my career, and none of them just happened. They were all caused by something or someone. And the law of first causes says that nothing comes from nothing. If nothing exists, nothing will exist. If something exists, something has caused that something to exist. The second law I'm thinking about is the second law of thermodynamics, or the law of entropy, which basically states that things are getting worse, not better. Or to put it in a different way, if things are left alone, they naturally move from order to chaos. They don't go from chaos to order. Things move from this to this. Things are getting worse. So order can't come from chaos unless another force or another energy acts upon it to make it become ordered. So if this cube is to be completed, someone or some intelligent force has to make it happen. So to suggest that mathematics and order in the universe come from chaos is irrational and unscientific. To suggest that everything we see can come from nothing without something causing it to happen is irrational and unscientific. You see, the problem is that we've been trying to use science to answer the question, why? But science can't answer the question, why? Science is very good at asking the question, how? How does this thing happen? But it can't answer why. So let's go back to the beginning again. And let's think about those laws of first causes and chaos and all that. As human beings, we crave order. We don't like this kind of thing. We want this kind of thing to become this. We want the order in life. Today, part of our problem is the fact that things are disordered. There's so much anxiety and depression and upset and anger and protest out there because we crave order and things are disordered. Think back to those military operations you've taken part in the past. Whenever the crap hit the fan, what happened? You relied on your training, that's what happened. Amidst the chaos, you depended upon order. As human beings, we are made for order, not for chaos. There's something inside of us that craves this rather than this. Order, not chaos. Chaos is not our natural state. We want order. But what put that idea into our heads? Back to the beginning then again. If order exists at all, according to the laws of physics, it can't have come from chaos. There must have been some force that gave order to everything. And if everything has a first cause, even a Big Bang, then something must have caused everything to happen. Now, what do we call a force that has the power to cause everything and has the intelligence to put everything in order? Well, honestly, you can call that force anything you like, but what you've just described is God. Now, I know that God is much more and greater than the description that we've just given, but to try and argue that everything came from nothing and that order came from chaos is just irrational. The simple mathematical equation is this: if there is anything, there is God. So if there is God, what does that mean for you and I? Well, it means that there is order to everything. That's why we want this rather than this. And that everything, therefore, has a purpose. And that fact, in days where chaos seems to reign out there in the world, is something that should bring us hope. To know that amongst all the nonsense and silliness, the virus and lockdowns, the BLM, the climate extinctionists, the gender politics, the identity crisis, the worldwide meltdown, amongst all that chaos, there is design and order at the core. And everything is ultimately in God's hands. That fact should bring an immense relief to our soul. God bless. Ta-ta for now.